Morning guys, John here from 400 miles. I just thought I'd check in with you guys the day before the Yorkshire Three Peaks Marathon. I'll be running tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, it's a marathon distance fell race. Just under a marathon distance fell race comprising of the three highest peaks in Yorkshire, those being Pen-y-ghent, Whernside and Ingleborough. I've done this race before. I did it last year for the first time. I ran just over 3:35, which is classed as a first class time of that race. My aim eventually would be to run under 3:15, which is an elite time. Whether I do that this year, I'm not sure. I've been suffering a lot with some blisters on my feet from a race I did last weekend in the Lake District called the Newlands Valley Memorial Race. I had a good result there and came sixth, but that being said, that's 11 miles, which is about where my endurance is at the moment, 11 to 15 miles. This is 24 miles, and that extra 10 miles will make a hell of a difference. There'll be the who's who of fell running there tomorrow. Ricky Lightfoot will be there, Rob Jebb will be there, Vicky Wilkinson or Vic Wilkinson will be there, Sharon will be there from Helm Hill, Rob's wife, and a few other really outstanding runners will be there. So it really is a fast field. It's a good place to gauge where you are within the fell running and trail running scene here in the UK, because it's the only race where basically you can guarantee that 70% of the who's who of fell running will be there. So I'm looking forward to racing that tomorrow. I did get cramp coming off Ingleborough last year. I'm hoping to not have that problem this year. I've taken some different nutrition products, one of which I'm going to be reviewing hopefully in the next coming days. I'm also going to be taking some goo block shots with me and some cyst gels. So I'll probably take 3 or 4 cyst gels during the course of the race, and then I'll just chun a few block shots as and when I feel I need them, just as an extra little top up for some sodium in there as well. I think they've got 40 grams of sodium per block shot, so that'd be quite useful. One thing I've learned over last year is I potentially need to push a little bit faster on Pen-y-ghent. I really did walk from pretty much the point where if you know it, it sort of goes along a nice steady trail and then sort of slowly climbs. From the point it slowly started to climb up off that steady trail, I pretty much started walking. Because I was really concerned that it was a long distance and I didn't want to blow up. This year I think I've got to be prepared to throw caution to the wind a bit more and push up Pen-y-ghent and possibly push off Pen-y-ghent a bit more. Take it steady off in the valley, because I think the road's so flat there anyway that you can still go along at a decent click and not even realise you're doing a decent click. Whereas last year I was looking at my watch thinking, maybe I should do 6:30 pace along the road here. So I was really pushing on the road. And in hindsight, it got me about 2 minutes overall, whereas the climbs I was losing 5-10 minutes. So I'll probably push a bit harder on Pen-y-ghent this year. I'm going to use the Innovate x-talon. I'm going to use my pair from 2017. I have got a pair from 2018, which are my current race shoes, but they're pretty. The soles are still pretty aggressive on them, whereas my 2017 have worn down nicely. My advice for the Three Peaks marathon is to wear either a aggressive mixed training shoe, so something like the La Sportiva Mutant or the Adidas Terex Trailmaker, or even one of the Innovate Trail Rocks or something like that, or Trail Talons, or use a worn down fell running shoe like a Walsh or a Innovate x-talon Mudclaw. Something like that. I can't really think of anything else really in the market. I think Hoka have started doing a super aggressive fell running shoe as well. But make sure they're warm, because you will completely damage them running on the roads between Pen-y-ghent and Whernside, because there is a long slog on the road there and it is uncomfortable. If you've got fresh fell running shoes on, you really will feel every single knock of that pavement on that road. So something in the middle basically for that one. I'm going to be using my bum bag, and I'm just going to drop water at the water stops. I'm going to drink a big load of water before the start, and then the next available water is there's some water available coming off Pen-y-ghent, but it's plain water, so I'll probably have that with a gel. Then at Ribblehead I'm going to drop a bottle of the ginger active root drink, and again I'll probably have a gel and my drink climbing Whernside. I'm going to try and get a bottle which is really crushable, because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to then crush it at the top of Whernside, put it into my bum bag descending off Whernside, and then when we get to the pub at oh, I can't remember the name of the checkpoint, and people will kill me for that because it's a really famous pub there at the checkpoint before the bottom of Ingleborough. I want to say like the New Inn or Hill Inn or something like that. When we get there, that's the second water drop. So what I'm going to do is all bottle out into the bin. There's going to be bins there, and there's nothing worse than littering, especially on a fell race, especially on such a busy route like the Yorkshire Three Peaks. If people are littering there, then for me it's a DQ, a life DQ for the FRA if they're littering on that course. Bottle in the bin, pick up my fresh bottle, and then start the climb up Ingleborough, where I'll drink my water, my second bottle, and have my last gel, and potentially also have a couple of block shots up there as well, because coming off Ingleborough last year, if you don't know it, you run out and it sort of plateaus on a rocky bouldery field. You have to run to the far end of Ingleborough, and there's your checkpoint, and then you're coming back in, and as you come back in, there's a really quite a tricky descent coming down. It's probably the only really technical bit on the whole course, but last year I was sort of like, oh, but hands down, and like trying to climb down basically, and as I climbed I hyperextended my leg and both my hamstrings just went, and this poor old lady, I mean the words that I uttered, I mean I wouldn't repeat them now, but she gave me a look like you wouldn't believe, because I was really in pain. But luckily I got up and kept running, and I must have been running well because I was still overtaking people, but it did definitely slow me down. I became a lot more cautious going down back to the start. So that's my plan as far as nutrition is concerned. As far as clothing is concerned, I'll probably wear my S-Lab race shorts with some underwear underneath, my Innovate socks as well, and my Valley Striders club vest, which I use, and I'll also use General cream on my feet beforehand to avoid blisters, because I've been suffering with these blisters for the last 2 weeks. And I've also got some skin glue, so I'm going to skin glue my the blisters that I have got. I'm going to skin glue them on top to prevent them from rubbing anymore. I might wear an underlayer tomorrow. I've not decided. If I do, it'll be a very thin underlayer, just because I know that forecast is a lot of rain and some quite heavy wind, so potentially I'll wear that. And that's it really. So the plan is, I mean, start off fairly steady on the road, and the first start of the climb up to Pen-y-Ghent. Keep pushing though, keep that effort going up Pen-y-Ghent, steady that is, not fast, and then run hard off the top of there, steady through the valley, hard up Whernside, hard down roadside, steady through the checkpoint at the new Hill Inn or whatever we're calling it, steady up Ingleborough, and then everything you've got to the finish at the end is probably my plan. So if any of you guys are running tomorrow, I'd love to hear from you. This has just been a quick recap, let you know how I'm feeling as well, and let me know how you're feeling and what you'd like to see reviewed and what races you're doing in the future. So anyway, this has been 400 Mile Reviews, and we'll see you in the next one.